Hey, just going to record this quick video on how to set up baserow and n8n on Elestio. It gave me a bit of a headache and I figured it out, so I thought I would share it with you. This will probably help you if you're having problems with settings on setting up your own hosted n8n or baserow on another service as well, but I'll just quickly run you through how to do it on Elestio. So if you want to run multiple services, you use this one called CI/CD. I won't go into that in detail. You can go through, it's fairly straightforward step by step. But if you have done that and you've set up two different applications under that, you can go to pipelines and you can see I've already set up the two here. You have n8n and baserow. And if we'll have a look at baserow first and what you need to do. So the issue is, you can set these up and they work fine, but then you might find the problem is you're not able to receive email when the application sends an email. For instance, if you want to do a password reset, or if you want to invite a user to use baserow or n8n, nothing will happen. You invite and then they won't get an email and you won't understand why. And it's because the SMTP settings are not set up correctly. So that means you need an email provider to provide you with the service of sending out the emails. So the way it works in here, we're under baserow and we're under build and deploy. You've got a thing called a Docker Compose YAML file, which is the thing that creates the container that baserow lives in. And the way it basically works is you've got environment variables down here. And these environment variables, like for instance, email, SMTP, host, these environment variables, I'm with Hostinger, which uses an email server called Titan. It sucks that into here. So to keep things simple for you, all you need to do is for Docker, if you use the Docker version of baserow, copy this into the data compose YAML. And I'll have a blog post link to this so that you can copy and paste and make it easy for you. You copy that part in there, and then you copy this part into the variables. And then it will just work depending on your settings. A couple of things that trip me up. Basically, what you've got to remember is if you use port 465 for SMTP, it means you're using SSL. You don't have to know the ins and outs of that. Just know that if you use port 465, you need this set, which is email SMTP use equals true. And you just need the rest of the details filled out from whoever the email hosting provider is. If you use something else and you use Gmail, you might want to use a different port. I think the other common port is 587 from memory. Let's see here. But anyway, if you use 587, then you'll change the port here, but then that's not SSL. So you need to remove that. There's something called TLS that you'd have to put in instead. So that's the thing that trips you up. 465 SSL is true. The other one that starts with 5 doesn't use SSL. And I'll have a blog post and settings that you can link to. Now, the other important part is once you've done this, you go up here and you hit apply changes, and it will run through and apply the changes. But then what you need to do is you need to restart the container. And the way to do that is you click open terminal. It will open up a terminal, which looks like, let's do one. Click. It'll open up a terminal screen like this. So this is basically logging into Elestio, and you can see here it's in the app baserow. And then you need to shut it down and restart it. So that is the container. So the command is, I'm just pressing up on my keyboard here because I've typed this in before because I hate typing, but basically it's docker-compose space down. And when you do that, it will basically go like this and it will stop the container. And we go blah, 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 stopped. And then once you've done that, then you restart it which is Docker Compose up, -D, and then -build. So we'll hit that. And what it's doing now is it's taking these settings and it's applying them to the container. So everything should work. Now, if you want to test it, what you need to do is go into the section in here to invite other people. If you create a new user, I can't remember whether it sends you an email, but the best way to test it is you go to invite new users. And let's just do one. Let's just do this here. Let's get rid of this old one that I had. And you can see here it's failing at the moment, and that's because I've restarted the service and it hasn't come back up again yet. So it's saying reconnecting, failed. All you got to do is just wait a few seconds. So I will refresh this page. There we go. So we're working now. I'm just going to remove this one so that I can put it in again as an example. So I'm just going to put in here one of the 1,000 email addresses I've got, which is VidIQ@crows. Trees. You and go send invite. And if everything has worked correctly, then you should see that appear in your email inbox. Let's just see if that came up over here. Yeah, you can see here it worked, came through. And that is pretty much it. And it's the same for n8n, except the variables are slightly different. So if I go into my n8n one here, you can see this is the Docker Compose file for n8n. You just need to make sure these exact fields are set out, and you can copy and paste these in because they suck in all the right variables. So they just start with n8n underscore blah, 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 blah. And then again, it's bringing in the variables from here. And you can see here, this is where I'll put the details. Obviously, change these to your actual email address and your email's password and who you want it to be sent from. Again, because I'm on Hostinger using port 465 and their host is smtp.titan.email, but you need to change that for whatever you've got. And same thing, save, apply changes, open a terminal for this particular server, and then do the same thing. Shut them down, restart, wait, send the test invitation, and you should be right to go. Hope that's helped somebody out there. Catch you in the next one.